We are on Oholot, Perek Chet, Mishnah Dalet. Fourth Mishnah in the 8th chapter of Masechet Oholot. So now we learn Elu Chotzitzin V'lo Mevi'in. So if you put them over tumah, they're chotzeit. They block tumah from what's above them. V'lo Mevi'in, but they can't create a sense where they transfer tumah in what's below them. Says the Mishnah, Masechet Prusa. What Prusa means spread. So what is a Masechet? It says about Tanura. Chutei Hashti. So remember we learned when you have a loom, so you have the warp and the woof. I don't remember whichever one it was, but whenever you set up the strings, let's look at Rav Posen draws it. He says you set up the strings on the loom, right? And these are the strings. So here you have the when you're finished, or I don't know whichever side you're finished on. I don't remember whichever side you're finished on. This isn't the whole loom, right? Then it wraps itself around and creates the cloth. But over here, you only have the strings. Here, all you have are the strings that are one direction. I remember it's shti is warp or woof. I always forget that. Anyway, so you have and you have this. He drew it. You see it over the aruba, over the skylight over here. So we learn. So the Mishnah says this is chotzitzim v'lo mevi'im. So in this case, if you have something over here, if you have tumah below, right? You got tumah down here. And you have something over here, for whatever reason you have, I don't know, food hanging over here. So this one directional string can be chotzetz. It blocks the tumah, but it's not mevi, so it wouldn't spread throughout the entire bottom room. That's what it means, chotzetzim v'lo mevi'im. So that's what it says. Tumah tachteha, matzelet ala kilim shalamal. If there's tumah under that web of strings, not even a web, that mesh of strings. Aval. But if it itself is an ohel on kelim and mate, en miviyata tumah, it doesn't transfer tumah. It's not considered an ohel until it's woven, until you have an actual cloth. So that's Masechet Prusa. Chavile hamita means the strings of a bed. Again, the strings of a bed. Chavalim hamita she misurregit when the bed is. Remember, we learned when you make a bed. Okay, the mita is misurag. It's webbed, I guess. And the point is, we're going to see that the point is that it has to, that as long as each hole is not more than a tefach by tefach, so it's less than a tumah can't travel through a hole that's less than a tefach by tefach. Similarly, mishpalot, we said, were kupot shemotziot be'em et hazevel. They had these sort of baskets with which they would take out the zevel, the trash. I don't know if it's human excrement. They would take out the zevel, is excrement. So it was made in such a way. This we've learned in other Mishnah that it had. I don't know why using camels. Other opinions are that we saw in Kalim that it was used for camels, but it was like a very wide mesh so that it held the stuff, but it had holes, big holes. Srigot also. Sarig is a weave. So the weave in the windows, these are screens in the windows. They are chotzetz. As we said before, as long as there's not a hole that's more than a tefach wide. So if you think about it, very interesting, the screen of a window is chotzetz. It's like blocks for tumah. And even if the screens were much wider, the screens that we have for sure block for tumah. So you can have, if you have an opening and you want to block the tumah from going from one window, one room to another, you put in a screen and that blocks the tumah from transferring. We'll stop here, dedicate our learning to the memory of my father, Rav Simcha ben Yitzchak Kalman. Make it a great day.